Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video recording. People have been asking over and over for me to do something since I'm always posting food and I'm always cooking. A little intro, a little bit about myself. I am a blessed and happy wife and mother of two. My son is 14, my daughter is 4, going on 30. But I'm going to give this a try. I don't normally like to be in the spotlight or things where the focus is on me. But I figured to be a little more personal, I'll show you probably myself most of the time. Maybe not all the time, maybe always. I don't know. Depends on how it is. I'm always real about it. It is what it is. I do what I do. I say what I say. Life is life. I am a stay-at-home mom, so you may see a bouncing child go back and forth. Whatever is gonna happen. I make a little bit of everything. Not big on breakfast, so lunch, dinner. Every now and then I do like basic desserts. Wide variety of food, whether it's keto friendly, carb friendly, just healthy, soul food, whatever I'm in the mood, whatever I'm doing, how I'm working with it, that's how it's going to go. I don't follow everything by the book. Sometimes I use multiple recipes for one thing because I pick and choose what I want and what I like and how I would want it to taste. But today I am going to make cheddar and broccoli stuffed chicken breast. So for right now, I am going to be making the stuffing part because that's what you want to get over and done with first anyway. So I'm going to be using, instead of a shallot, I'm just going to use another half of onion that I already have. Everything's already washed and taken care of, everything like that. And as usual, my go-to seasonings would be garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper, of course, and I use minced garlic for almost everything. And I love using olive oil, and absolutely, definitely butter with everything, mostly. And so for this recipe, I will be using the onion powder, the garlic powder, and basil because I don't have thyme. And then I have my salt and pepper. I'm going to use a little bit of coriander. I'm starting to like that in my chicken recipes lately. And of course, like I said, I have the minced garlic and the butter. I'm going to be using sharp cheddar cheese. Big thing of broccoli, not that much broccoli. And of course, I got my chicken and everything like that. And because I don't have the cream cheese this time, because I used it for another stuffed recipe that I did, I'll be using a substitute, which is a great one. Plain Greek yogurt. Don't do vanilla. It will change the whole flavor. And so that's what I'm going to be doing right now. I don't chop specifically. I'm not a professional. I willy-nilly a lot of things. I don't measure anything. So everything is by eye and by taste and flavor and how I normally do things. So I don't do things all the traditional and using measure. I don't do all that. But I will put the ingredients down in there and tell you pretty much the amount that I'm pouring in whatever I'm cooking. So for right now, I'm just going to chop the onions. And then I think these are actually supposed to be pretty diced and small because they're going in the mixture of the stuffing for the chicken breast. And I do have a food processor, and for whatever reason, once I have to chop something in half, I'm like, why not sit there and just keep chopping? Why sit there and dirty another dish? Why sit there and have to plug something in? I'm not doing all that. that's basically what I'm doing. Alright, that should be good enough. I love onions. My family doesn't love it so much. It is what it is. So, but then it's going to be fine once it's cooked in there anyway, so it's not big on that. So, I got the onions in there, and like I said, I like butter. So even though the butter is not in the recipe, I'm putting it in. So I'm just going to do a couple that just because it's going to be inside the chicken and it'll be nice and juicy anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. Keep it moist and everything also. I don't have the foil, so I don't always use the foil. I just constantly wash my chicken and make sure that it, you know, the juices are running clear and it is not pink inside. For that, I will be using garlic. Garlic is not in this recipe, but I am going to be putting, I would say, about 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, give or take your liking on garlic. Like I said, I love it. So I am also going to, it said like an 8-ounce thing of cream cheese, so I'm going to be using a good amount of this just to have the moisture in there. And I always keep paper towels by me because I make a mess and I need to constantly wipe my hands because I don't like when they're dirty. And you'll probably see me get up in the middle of some recipes and constantly washing my hands, especially if I'm like literally handling and dealing with the food. That's what I'm going to be doing a lot too, because that's what you should be doing, especially if you're touching poultry or raw eggs. So then I'm going to do the seasonings now. Just a little salt. I don't like to use a lot of salt at all. I'm all set with that. I'll use almost everything but salt. So, again, I don't know. I do not know how much this would be. I would probably say about a teaspoon. No, yeah, about a good teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons of pepper. Love onion pepper powder. So, I am going to do about a tablespoon. Maybe even a tablespoon and a half. I also will be seasoning my chicken. Same thing with garlic powder. Easy tablespoon, tablespoon and a half. That's just what I'm doing. Coriander, I do about maybe about a tablespoon of this too, just to give it a little bit of different flavor and stuff like that. The basil is very strong, so thyme is not. So I won't be using a lot. I would want to say about maybe a teaspoon and a half of that. No more than that. And then I got to add the broccoli. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to be chopping that up and putting that in there. But this is semi-frozen. I took it out a little bit in advance, so it won't be so hard for me to chop up, because I really feel like it doesn't need to overwhelm the chicken. It just needs to be stuffed with broccoli. So, honestly, I may just make a side of broccoli to go with it, just because. I love broccoli. We love broccoli. So, I am just, chopping up everything, just so it is not too much. Just enough to give it flavor and do its job in the stuffing. You don't want to overstuff everything, especially when the chicken breasts aren't that huge. And I didn't pick these out individually, so whatever comes in my giant bag of chicken, that's what I use and what I work with. So I try to pick the biggest ones and then go from there. Like right now, this may be too much broccoli. Yeah. It is what it is. Like I said, Not gonna hurt nobody to have extra broccoli on the side. Alright. That should be good enough, because you still want to taste the broccoli and have chunks in it and everything else like that. Alright. So, I'm just gonna put almost all of it in there, just so it's not overwhelming and it's not like taking out too much. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna eyeball it. So, alright, that should be more than enough for that part. So then I'm just gonna dump the rest in here. Now I have to put in the cheese, which we are big on cheese here. So the more cheese, the better. But I'm gonna do almost all of it. Almost all of it. This is an 8-ounce bag. It was almost gone. I probably used about 2 ounces of it, so not a big deal. Sorry, let me get a spoon. Alright, there we go. So I'm just going to mix this all together. So this is nice and evenly coated. Everything is mixed. The seasonings, the sauce, well, the sour cream and everything like that. Well, it's really yogurt. I was going to put sour cream in there, but I didn't want to do too much. So this purpose is really just for the coating. Doesn't really give flavor. Cream cheese gives a little bit of something, but nothing where you feel like you're missing out on it if you're doing a mixture. So sour cream or plain Greek yogurt are best substitutes when you don't have cream cheese. And for, like I said, for thyme, best substitute would be Italian seasoning, parsley, basil, and things of that sort that are in that family. I Google so much, especially for substitutes, because it's like, I want something, but if I don't have everything, I need to figure out how to make it if I can. That's what I do. So, I'm hoping this is enough for flavor. That should be enough. So, everything is mixed with that. Put that out of the way. Alright, and that is done. I already coated my pan for my chicken. And actually, I coated it with butter. Not oil this time. I coated it with butter. I feel like I want to add a little bit more pepper. Just for a little bit. Just a little bit more pepper. A little bit more pepper. More pepper. I want a little nice spice or whatever. But again, like I said, I'm going to be seasoning the chicken anyway. So that's what I'm going to be doing. But anytime you add a little bit more, just do another quick whatever, and it will be all blended well all over again. You won't have to really worry about that. Okay. So then I have my chicken here, and I'm going to be trying to pick, hopefully, something good that we have. Okay. And then I'm going to get a bowl for it. And then I'm going to pick what I want. Okay. So, this looks like a good one. I'm only going to be doing 4 chicken breasts. Everything is washed and patted dry with this chicken. The juicier the better. Alright, so right now I'm just going to be cutting the fat off the chicken. Which actually there's not a lot. I don't know what people be talking about with Walmart chicken. I haven't had a problem, and I've been shopping at Walmart for years now. Every now and then, yes, okay, the chickens are skinny, but you can get that anywhere from anywhere, like, period. Alright. I'm just going to chop off this whole lump. That's what I'm going to do. Just because there's fat all in it. Alright. And then get the last piece. Sorry if I'm like maybe doing it a little too fast or whatever, but I like to get things done and over with, especially depending on how I feel or how late it's getting or how hungry I am. Okay. So for right now, I'm going to be cutting the chicken so I can place it in my bowl or my pan, and then I'll stuff it. But you know what? I can stuff it first just so you can see how I'm doing it, and then go from there. Sorry, I'm getting not used to people watching what I'm doing, so when I make split decisions, that's what I do. So you'll probably see that often. Okay, so I'm just cutting here. You want to make sure that you cut a little bit through, but not all the way. So you got to slowly, sometimes you got to just break it open just a little bit, little by little, just so the stuffing will stay. You don't want to make it too thin, like this, almost like that, right, just like a cup. I got all my pockets done for my chicken. Alright, so I'm going to put that there. Trying to figure out how to do this where you can see everything, but honestly, it's just, I don't have a lot of room here, so I gotta work with what I gotta work with. Don't have much counter space, but it is what it is. I still be making delicious meals. Okay, so now I'm gonna stuff the chicken. And so this is it. That's all of them right there. Now I am going to get my what I put my seasonings in to blend it all at once, and then I just pour it over, and then I'll flip the chicken, get that side, because you got to get both sides, okay? Sometimes I be seasoning the inside of the chicken too, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, so just one of these little bowls, and I used all my paper towels. That's alright. Just make sure my hands aren't dirty when I touch my seasonings and stuff. So, again, same seasonings. I'm going to pour the black pepper in there. I want to say about 2 teaspoons. Salt will be about 1 teaspoon. Like I said, I'm not big on that. I don't need high blood pressure and cholesterol and all that stuff. Again, about a tablespoon and a half of onion powder. About a tablespoon and a half garlic powder. I'll do about, see, that's taking too long for me. I'm like, not with it. So I'll be popping tops off. So this would be about a tablespoon and a half of the coriander. And I'm gonna do almost a tablespoon, about like a half a tablespoon of basil. Like I said, it's very strong. You don't need all that. Okay. I'll use this. I had this for something else, but didn't end up using it. So I'm just gonna mix it so everything is seasoned very, very well, all blended, so it's an even and nothing's too much of anything. All right. And then I'm just going to put it over here, make sure it's covering my whole chicken breast. Not slightly, I want my stuff covered. So I make sure it has seasoning in every bite. Okay. Then I'm going to flip them over, which I wouldn't normally do. Normally, I would do it the other way and season it first, and then flip it over, just because I don't want to mess up the food. Alright, this one's kind of messing up right now. So this time I'm not going to flip them back over, just because they have toothpicks in them and the insides are like trying to fall out right now. Because like I said, it's not huge. But bigger chicken breast, you could do whatever you had to. And I managed to get everything. Alright. So it looks like that. Fully covered. Now what I am going to do is make sure whatever stuffing came out, I'm going to shove it right back up in there, in the chicken breast. And make sure that it's in there. Alright, so everything is done now. So that is it. I will come back and show you the end results and then let you know how it comes out. But this is the cheese and broccoli stuffed chicken breast recipe. I hope you like it. Okay guys, so the end result of the cheese and broccoli stuffed chicken breast smells delicious and is good. And here's the end result. Let's see.